Oh, Newbert, I can't think of an intro for this video. What should I do? Wait, maybe you should die. Wait, Newbert, why are you telling me this? I thought we were friends. Oh, hold on. Maybe you should die. You know what, Newbert? That actually gave me a great idea. And no, I'm not gonna follow your request that you just gave to me, but it's in the way that you said that message and how there were certain texts in that message that were formatted differently than the rest. And that's actually something really interesting to know about when it comes to formatting messages inside of your game. And I think that's what I'm going to be talking about inside of this GUI tutorial. It's going to be what's called rich text markup. But before we implement that inside of Studio, let me try and give you an understanding of it first. Thanks, Newbert. I really appreciate it. All right, let's think about this for a minute. In the previous example I showed you with Newbert saying what he just said with his message, there were certain parts of that message that were formatted in a different way compared to the rest of the string. And this is with the use of rich text markup. So in order to show you further of what I'm talking about, I have this text label that just simply says this is a message. But if I were to show you this version of the same message, we can see here that the word message is in bold and it's also underlined, but the rest of the string is not. And this is all contained within the same string, so we don't have a specific format for the entire string, but only for specific parts of the string. So this is very useful when we want to use the same string, but then have certain parts of the string be in a different format compared to everything else. I think from this point onward, it's pretty self-explanatory, but now it's a matter of understanding how we exactly format these strings. And so for the rest of this tutorial, that's what we're going to be doing inside of this video. So with that being said, let's now go straight into implementing. Now that we understand it, let's implement rich text markup inside of Roblox Studio. So what I'm going to do is go to the right side of Starter GUI, hit the plus sign, and I'm going to insert a screen GUI. Now inside of here, I'm going to insert a text label. So let's take this text label, let's just scale it up just a little bit, move it towards the center like this. I'm going to go down and turn text scaled on so that we can actually see the text. Now, in order for me to help you understand the structure of rich text markup and how we can incorporate this inside of our text, I'm actually going to insert a local script inside of text labels. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, insert a local script, and delete this. So what I'm first going to do is make reference to the text label by saying local text label equals script.parent. And then what I'm going to do is say text label.text equals. Now we can make this text to be whatever we want to be. It could be the previous example that we had, which was this is a message like this. So this is a basic message that we have here. And I also added it over here as well. So this is basically what it looks like here. This is how it is formatted. But if we want to be able to format a specific part of the string, like let's say this word message here, then we need to use rich text markup to add tags to surround the part of the string that we want to format. And it's basically going to look something like this, where we have an open tag over here on the left side, and then a closed tag on the right side, basically surrounding the part of the string we want to make a change to. And so for rich text markup, the way that it is formatted through tags. And the way tags are formatted is something like this. So we have a less than character and a greater than character. And then on the end of it, we have a less than character and a greater than character again. But for the end character, we want to add a forward slash so that we can differentiate between the end tag and the open tag. So now we have our tag format, but we want to know what tag we want to use specifically for this message. And like we mentioned before, we want to make this part in bold. So what we can do is simply just say lowercase b for bold. And on the right side, we can also say b, and we need to make sure that it is on the right of the forward slash and not behind the forward slash. And so this is basically how we create tags using rich text markup to format specific parts of the string. So if we were to copy this and go to our game and we change the text to this, we can still see that we're seeing the tags here, which is not meant to happen. And that's because we need to enable this property called rich text. So if we enable this, then we can see that message is formatted as the way we want to, which is in bold, but the rest of it is still as it is normally. And you don't need to use a script to be able to format this properly. You can even just do this directly inside of the text property as well. But I just find it to be harder to read. So that's why I write this down inside of a script first before putting it inside of the text property. But this is how you use rich text markup in its basic format. We can even add multiple tags to the same part of the message that we want to format. And the way we would do this is by simply adding more tags surrounding the specific message we want to change. So if I were to insert another tag, we would have another open one over here and another closed one over here. Now, the thing about this is if we added another tag to the same message, then we can either put the open tag on the left side or the right side, but it doesn't really matter where you put it. For this example, I'm going to put it on the left side. But what is important is to know the order of where you put the tags. Because if, let's say, this tag was to make the message bold, then we would add a U to this and another U over here. We need to have the tag be on the outside of the entire message because that's where we had the starting tag for the underline. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you have a tag that's closer to the message, you need to have the end tag also be closer to the message, and you need to have the order match up like this. So you need to do the same thing for the underline here as well. This is the second closest tag to the message, so that's why the end tag is also the second closest tag to the message and things like that. So now that we've come to that understanding, if we were to select this, bring it over back here, change the text to this, then as you can see, now the message is underlined and bolded at the same time because we added two tags rather than one. And you can do this for as many tags as you'd like. We can even add color to specific parts of the string. So what I'm going to do to make this more simple is by getting rid of these tags that we currently have. And I need you to understand how the structure of this tag is going to work. So I'm first going to insert the less than and greater than symbol, less than and greater than symbol, and then add the / to the end of it. So the way that this is going to work is there's basically a group full of tags that we can use. And what I'm talking about is there's a group called font, and it has multiple properties that we can change within that same group. What we're going to do is say font, spacebar, and we're going to change specifically the color of it. So we're going to say color, and in order for us to actually change the color of it, we're going to put an equal sign. And there's two ways we can change the color of a message. We can either use an RGB value or we can use a hex value. But for the sake of this example, we're going to use an RGB value. So we're simply going to say RGB, open and close parentheses, and we're going to put in our 3 RGB values. So let's say we want to make this part red. What we're going to do is give 255 for red, comma, 0 for green, and then comma, 0 for blue. One thing we need to do is surround this part with double quotes. So we need to put a double quote here, and we also need to put a double quote by the end of it as well, like this. But now you might think that there's a whole bunch of weird stuff happening here, and there's actually an error that Roblox is giving us saying that there's an unknown global variable RGB. And that's because we can't have double quotes within double quotes. So what we need to do is actually replace these double quotes on the outside with single quotes like this so that we can have double quotes within this string. So now it should basically work as expected. Now, don't forget on the end here, we need to specify font like this. Now, we're not going to be saying font color or anything like that because font is the group and color is the property that we want to change specifically. So now if we were to copy this string and then paste it into this text here, then we can see that message is now formatted in red, but the rest is not. And so that's basically how you add color to your text. We can also change more things with this font because this is a group that has multiple different properties within the same tag. So what we can try and change is the font of this specific part of the message right here. And we're going to use what's called font family. Now, often people get confused with font family and font face. So this documentation shows what a font is, and it explains pretty well the difference between font and font color. But essentially, this is a huge list of all the font families that you can use inside of your Roblox game. Now, to help you understand what a font family is, It's basically a bunch of fonts that look similar to each other, that is basically grouped into one font that is shared within the text that we use inside of our game. And it also contains different weights as well. So weights meaning if it's a normal text, if it's bolded, if it's semi-bolded, and things like that. So that's what the weight is. But for the font family, it basically contains multiple fonts that are basically the same and groups them into one, versus a font face, which is a very specific font that you'd want to use. Like, let's say Arial Bold is a font face. That's a specific font that we want to use, but Arial is the name of the font family altogether. And usually I would recommend just using the font family because it's a much more simplified way of adding your font inside of your game. So what I'm going to do is select one of these fonts. Let's say Bangers right here. So what I'm going to do is select this asset ID. I'm going to copy it. And now we're going to go back into Roblox Studio so that we can add this inside of our script. All right, so I'm back into Studio, and I mentioned that we can have multiple properties being changed within the same tag, which is font. So all we need to do is basically just write a space after we make one of these property changes and specify the next property. So what we're going to specify now is the family. We're going to say family equals double quotes and double quotes again, and we're just simply paste what we copied from the website. And now what we have is a change to the font color and a change to the font family by simply separating these two using a space. And it's important to have this all contained within the open tag for font. And we only specify font one time. So this is one property change and this is another property change right here. So now let's copy this text, ignoring the single quotes. So let's copy this, go back to the game, select our text label, and let's now paste this new text. And as you can see, it is now red, and the text family has also changed to be Bangers instead of what we had before. So this is basically how we changed the font color and also the font family of this specific part of the text right here. Now, there's other things we can add to this, like adding a text stroke to be a different color and have a thickness to it so that we can actually see the stroke of a specific text. So what I'm going to do is go back to our script, and I'm going to get rid of this font tag just so that it's not in the way of everything else that we're trying to write here. So what I'm going to do is add in the open and closed tag like this, and another open and closed tag like this with a / right here. And now what I'm going to do is specify the stroke tag. So we're going to say stroke like this. And there's two things we're going to add in here. So it's going to be the color, and it's also going to be the thickness. So we're going to say color equals, don't forget the double quotes, and we're going to specify an RGB value. So we can make this RGB value, let's say 0, 255, and 0 to be fully green. And we're also going to change the thickness of it so that we can see it better. So we're going to get out of the color property, and we're going to add thickness like this. Set this equal to double quotation, and we can put a number inside of here, like let's say 4, so that we can really see it. It's very important that when we're having values inside of each property, we use quotations surrounding the values so that the rich text markup language knows that this is going to be a value that we're trying to change and not like a property or anything like that. Oh yeah, and also at the end here, we also can't forget about this. After the /, we add in the tag name, which is stroke. So now if we take this text once again and go inside of our game right here, change the text to this. So we can now see the text stroke that is green, and it also has a thickness of 4, so we can see it very well. So that's how you add strokes inside of your text. Another interesting thing is we can have custom line breaks inside of our message. Now, what I mean by a line break is if we, let's say, had a specific part of the text that just says this is, and we wanted to continue the message, but have it be down here rather than have it go along this way, then we would use what's called a line break to basically separate, to basically let us know that this is where we want to end, and we want to now move on to the next line down here to continue our message. The way we write that inside of our script is if we go back inside of here, I'm going to get rid of the stroke so that we can read this better. So I'm going to get rid of the stroke like this. Up until this point, we've had open and closed tags, but in this case for a line break, we actually don't need that. we just need one tag that represents the line break. And what we're going to do is just simply say open and close tag like this. And we're going to put in a BR. So this indicates break for line break. And we're also going to say space /. So this is the tag for a line break right here. And the reason it's formatted like this is because we only need one tag for this, which is the line break tag, and we need to be able to end it by using the /. And so if we were to copy this message and put it inside of our text label, then we can see that it went from this is, and then it just cut itself out right there to continue onward down here with a message. Now I want you to be careful with the spacing, because if we had spacing over here, then it's going to start with a space and then a message. So what I would actually do is not space this out, and I would just simply copy it like this and then have it be like this. You can see it's now structured a lot better because we got rid of the space that was surrounding the line break tag. Now we have escape forms. Now basically what these are is these are specific characters we can add inside of our message that won't interfere with the formatting of the message itself. So what I mean is if we go back to our script and we wanted to have a less than symbol, but we don't want it to be confused with the actual formatting, then we would use what's called escape forms to represent the less than symbol or the greater than symbol, for instance, where it won't be confused with the formatting of it. So I'm going to show you a few examples of them, but not go through all of them, but just a few examples. So inside of here, I'm going to expand this message, and every single escape form starts with an ampersand symbol, and it ends with a semicolon. So for every single escape form we have, it starts with the ampersand and it ends with a semicolon, and then we put in whatever the tag is inside of these two characters right here. And so for a less than character, all we need to do is say LT, because LT stands for less than. And we can do the same thing for a greater than symbol as well by specifying the ampersand semicolon, and then we say GT for greater than. And so if we were to select this and bring this inside of our text label in here, and we change the text to this, then we can see that it is now rendered as the less than and greater than character rather than whatever we had here with the escape form format. And this is very useful if we don't want the message to overlap with characters that we actually want to show, but is being interfered with the formatting. So this can also be for things like quotes and apostrophe symbols as well. So if we were to write the ampersand semicolon, and then inside of here we say quote like this, and let's say we also want to have an apostrophe, then we would do the same thing with ampersand semicolon, and then apos. Apos is short for apostrophe, and then quotee is short for quotation. If we were to select this again, go back to our game, and then change this text, we can now see that we have the double quotes here, which is quotation, and then we have the apostrophe, which is also known as a single quote as well. So this is the use of escape forms, and I hope you find this to be useful inside of your text that you decide to change. So for today's challenge, I want you to recreate this panel on the right side of the screen. With a text label and 3 buttons here, but you don't really have to make the buttons functional, and to be honest, you don't really have to make them buttons at all. But what I want you to practice is using rich text markup to format these strings to be the way that they are. Now, you don't have to match it perfectly because there are some things here that you may or may not know about, like this strike through text, or you might not know which font I'm using for some of these texts. But I definitely want you to get into the habit of using rich text markup to make these specific changes. Like game mode is bolded, underlined, and it's in a different font. These 3 options here is bolded and they're in a different font. These texts here are in a different color and have a stroke. And then these ones, they're in a different font and have different colors and things like that. So I want you to be able to replicate this to the best of your ability, and that's going to be your challenge for today. If you want to learn more about learning how to make a text label, then I'll have a link to that for you right here to watch inside of this video. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.